The iPhone 15 is pretty similar to the iPhone 14, but it has some neat stuff. For example, it has the dynamic island, which is this little area on the screen that shows some apps and has the front cameras. It's way cooler than the old notch. Another thing that changed is the glass on the back of the phone. Apple made it so that the color is part of the glass, not just on it. That means it won't get old or dirty as fast. The iPhone 15 also has a USB-C port now. That's awesome because it means one can use one charger for their phone and their laptop. One thing I really like is the new satellite feature. You can call for help from anywhere, even if you don't have cell service. That's super useful if you're in trouble or you're somewhere remote. It has an amazing 6.1-inch screen that makes everything look great. It's not the highest resolution or the fastest refresh rate, but Apple knows how to make colors and brightness look just right. It has a super high contrast ratio that makes blacks really black and a very bright peak brightness that makes whites really white. HDR is cool, but it's even cooler on the iPhone 15 because it has a screen that can show HDR content like no other. If you're a fan of photography, you'll love the iPhone 15. It has two cameras on the back, one with 48 megapixel and one with 12 megapixel, that can take amazing photos in any situation. The camera quality is superb, and you'll be amazed by the clarity and vibrancy of your shots. The front camera is 12 megapixel, and it can take awesome selfies, and the best part is the portrait mode that makes you look like a star. The A16 Bionic chip in the iPhone 15 is awesome. It has 6 cores in the CPU and 5 cores in the GPU, so it can handle any app or game you throw at it. The battery life is also amazing. It lasts for a long time even with heavy gaming. The iPhone 15 charges pretty fast with a 20-watt power adapter. It takes about half an hour to fill it up. It also works with MagSafe wireless chargers. It still uses USB-C though, so there's no speed boost from that. The iPhone 14 Pro looks like two different phones. The back is almost the same as the iPhone 13 Pro, except for the bigger camera lenses. The front is new and cool. It has a dynamic island instead of a notch. It has a stainless steel frame and a matte glass back. The screen is very strong because of the ceramic shield. The iPhone 14 Pro has a stunning 6.1 inches screen, and it also supports 120 Hz. The colors are so vivid, and the brightness is amazing even in the sun. The screen can adjust to different refresh rates to save battery. Watching movies on the iPhone 14 Pro is awesome. The screen makes everything look so good, especially games with bright colors and smooth animations. The iPhone 14 Pro has an awesome triple camera setup. The main one is a 48 megapixel lens that can take amazing photos. The ultra-wide camera also got better with a bigger sensor. The telephoto lens is still 3x, but you can also zoom in 2x with the main camera. Another cool thing for iPhones this year is the photonic engine, which makes all your photos look better in low or medium light. It uses Apple's Deep Fusion tech to bring out more details and colors in your pictures. The selfie camera can now autofocus, and it has a faster aperture, which means better selfies in the dark. Overall, this phone has awesome cameras. Apple is always best in terms of recording videos. It can shoot up to 4K at 60 FPS. But the coolest thing is action mode. This is like super stabilization for video that makes your shots look smooth and steady, even if you or your subject are moving fast. Apple says you don't need a gimbal anymore when you use action mode. The iPhone 14 Pro has the new A16 Bionic chip. It's made with a 4-nanometer process and has 6 CPU cores, 5 GPU cores, and 16 neural engine cores. It can do a lot more than the previous generations. It's a super powerful phone that can handle anything you throw at it. This device comes with 3200 milliampere battery. You will be impressed by how long the battery lasts. You can take tons of photos and use it lightly for a couple of days without plugging it in. The only downside is that it still charges at 20 watt with a cable and 15 watt with MagSafe. The iPhone 14 Pro is not just a smaller version of the Pro Max. It has the same powerful features and upgrades that make it stand out from the regular iPhone 14.